It's the kind of dilemma Chelsea fans both love and fear, two supremely talented wingers, both hungry, both electric, both capable of magic, but only one starting spot. The moment Michael Olise's transfer to Chelsea hit the headlines, social media lit up like wildfire. Memes, debates, fan polls. Olise or Madueke flooded every thread. It wasn't just a signing, it was a statement. And suddenly, Noni Madueke, who had just begun finding his rhythm at Stamford Bridge, found himself in the crosshairs of uncertainty. But this isn't just a story about two players fighting for game time. It's a clash of styles, philosophies, and identities, and in many ways, it mirrors Chelsea's own identity crisis of the past few seasons. Let's start with Michael Olise. Quiet. Calculated. Cold-blooded on the ball. He doesn't roar, he whispers. And somehow, that whisper silences stadiums. There's a reason he was Crystal Palace's crown jewel. His left foot? It's not just a weapon, it's an instrument. The way he glides, measures his passes, opens his body to pick out the tiniest gaps, it's artistry. A player with vision far beyond his years. Olise isn't flashy for the sake of being flashy. Every touch has intent. Every dribble feels like a move in a chess game. He's the kind of player who doesn't need 100 touches to make a statement. Just one, the right one. But then there's Noni Madueke, Chelsea's maverick. Explosive. Emotional. Electric. Madueke plays like he's trying to rip the air open every time he sprints down the right. There's something raw and fearless in him that chaotic energy fans love. The feints, the step-overs, the sudden burst of pace that leaves defenders on ice skates. You don't just watch Madueke, you feel him. You hold your breath when he picks up the ball near the halfway line because you know something is about to happen. He's not always perfect, sometimes he overdoes it. But when he's on song, he's a show. Now imagine being Enzo Maresca right now. You've got one hand holding Olise, the smooth, elegant, tactically mature wide playmaker. The other hand? Madueke, pure adrenaline, unpredictability, chaos with a grin. One brings calm control, the other brings wild storms. Both are young. Both are hungry. Both are desperate to prove themselves in a season that could define Chelsea's direction for the next 5 years. And let's not forget, neither one wants to sit on the bench. This isn't just friendly competition. Behind the smiles and handshakes is a quiet war. A war of training ground dominance. A war of impact minutes. A war for Maresca's trust. Olise is coming off a stellar season at Palace despite injury setbacks. Whenever he was fit, he was their difference maker. He led, not with his mouth, but with his feet. You give him 10 yards, he'll give you a goal. His delivery from set pieces? Deadly. His composure in the final third? Rare for a player his age. Madueke, meanwhile, ended last season with fire in his boots. The fans were finally seeing the version they were promised from PSV. Direct. Ruthless. Brave. In matches where Chelsea looked sluggish, he brought the spark. He showed up. He gave hope. But now, everything resets. Preseason looms, and both know, there's no waiting for an opportunity. You take it, or someone else does. The question is, can they coexist? Can Maresca reshape the system to accommodate both, or will it be a ruthless decision, week in, week out? Because at the top level, talent alone doesn't guarantee you minutes. It's about trust. Discipline. Fit. And Maresca is not known for sentiment. He's known for system. Precision. Execution. And right now, he's got 2 loaded weapons, but only one holster. The fans are split. Some say Olise brings maturity, vision, and control. Others argue Madueke is exactly the chaos factor Chelsea needs in tight matches. And then there are those daring to dream, what if both start? One on the left, one on the right? But that brings new complications. What happens to Sterling? What about Nkunku? How does this affect Palmer's minutes? It's a beautiful problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. This isn't just a battle for minutes. It's a battle for identity. Who does Chelsea want to become? A team of silent assassins like Olise or emotional disruptors like Madueke? And here's the kicker. The decision won't be made in headlines. It won't be made in fan polls. It will be made quietly in those closed-door sessions at Cobham, where Maresca watches, measures, and chooses. But before we get to the verdict, we need to go deeper. What kind of football is Maresca building? What does his system demand from a winger? Who truly fits the blueprint? That's where the real answer lies, not in flair, not in goals alone, but in fit. And in Chapter 2, we're going to peel back the tactical curtain. Because when you understand Maresca's mind, you start to see which piece fits the puzzle. Let's go there. Now that we've seen the personalities, the flair, the raw power of Olise and Madueke, let's step into the one mind that matters most in all of this. Enzo Maresca. He's not here to build highlights. He's not here to please fans with flashy names or Twitter favorites. He's here for one thing: structure, the kind that wins football matches. And for Maresca, the system always comes first. The player either fits or he doesn't. End of story. So what is the system? Think Pep Light. Possession. Patience. Patterns. Ball control from the back, rotations in midfield, and wingers who don't just run, they read. Maresca wants control. He wants every movement on the pitch to feel deliberate, like a choreographed dance. And in this dance, the wingers are not just soloists. They are servants to the system. They create width, pull defenders out, make inverted runs, press high, and most importantly, keep the ball. So, who fits that better? Let's start with Michael Olise again, because this is where his profile truly shines. Olise is naturally intelligent on the ball. He doesn't rush decisions. His movement is elegant, always timed. He rarely loses possession, knows when to release, when to hold. He's also more positionally disciplined, something Maresca will value immensely. Look at his numbers at Palace. One of the highest pass completion rates among wingers in the league. Efficient final third involvement. Excellent ball recoveries and defensive awareness. He's not just a flair player, he's tactically aware. And that matters. Now imagine him in a Maresca setup, holding the right width, drifting inside when needed, combining with Palmer or Nkunku, delivering precise crosses or slipping in passes behind the fullback. It makes sense, doesn't it? It's clean. Controlled. Predictable in the good way. But here's where it gets tricky. Maresca isn't trying to only copy Guardiola. He knows the Premier League is faster, more brutal. Sometimes, your well-structured patterns need a disruptor. A game breaker. A wild card. Enter Noni Madueke. Madueke doesn't care about your patterns. He breaks lines by sheer force. When structure collapses, he creates chaos, the kind that defenders hate to deal with. The kind that changes matches when all else fails. And here's something fans forget: Madueke isn't tactically clueless. Under Pochettino, he improved his discipline, started tracking back more, and learned when to keep it simple. He's not a headless sprinter anymore. He's growing, and fast. Still, consistency has always been his biggest enemy. One week, he looks like a top 4 winger. The next? He disappears. Olise, for all his injuries, delivers when he plays. That's the difference. Maresca can't afford passengers. Especially not in a team that's trying to rebuild identity and rhythm. There's also the fitness debate. Olise is just returning from a long-term hamstring issue. His talent is unquestioned, but Maresca won't gamble his entire right flank on a player who might miss chunks of the season. Meanwhile, Madueke has already done the hard part: he's adapted to the league. His body is primed, his chemistry with teammates is growing. So what's the verdict? It might not be what you expect. Maresca won't pick just one. Not now. Not permanently. He'll rotate. He'll adjust based on the opponent. Against deep blocks that need clever breaking down? Olise. Against high lines and tired legs? Madueke. And if both stay fit? We may even see Palmer move inside, opening the door for both Olise and Madueke to start, one on each wing. Imagine that. Pure danger from both flanks. One smooth and surgical. The other wild and unpredictable. But even then, it won't be about favoritism. It will be about fit, form, and function. Because Maresca doesn't build his team around names. He builds it around roles. And here's the most human truth in football: no matter how talented you are, you're only as valuable as your ability to do the job the system demands. So as the season approaches, this isn't just Olise versus Madueke. It's a masterclass in what modern football is becoming. Not just flair. Not just pace. But players who can blend genius with geometry. Explosiveness with elegance. Chaos with calculation. And somewhere deep inside Maresca's football laboratory, that decision is already being shaped. Quietly. Without headlines. Without hype. But here's the twist. You get to decide too. Because football isn't just tactics, it's emotion. Identity. Connection. So tell us, based on everything you've seen, everything you feel, who should start for Chelsea this season, Olise or Madueke? Drop your verdict in the comments, because this battle is just beginning. And Stamford Bridge is